Being underpaid or underpriced as a tailor is not really the fault of the client or the customer. It is actually your fault. Well, today I'm going to give you 4 reasons why you are being underpriced and underpaid as a tailor. The first reason why people underprice and underpay you is because you don't communicate value. Now, people value you based on how they perceive you. And there's a popular quote that says perception is key. Well, me, I will say perception is everything. Tailoring is a show business. Now, the way people perceive you will determine how they pay you. And the worst thing that can ever happen to you as a tailor is when people undervalue you, because when they undervalue you, they underpay you. Now, you might ask, how do I communicate value? Now, there are various ways in which you can communicate value. The mistake most tailors make is they feel once they just have a sewing machine, they just have a cutting table, that's it. That's not it. That's why you see some fashion houses go as far as budgeting up to $5,000, $4,000 just to get a couch. Now, the budget for that couch might even be higher than the budget they used to get a sewing machine, because they understand something is not just about the machinery you use, but actually a perception of excellence and elegance. So when you come to a fashion house or you come to a place like that to get a cloth for yourself, you're not just paying for the clothes, you're not just paying for the fabric, but you're paying for the elegance and the excellence. Now, let me paint a picture. A bottle of Coke can cost maybe $10, or in Nigeria currency maybe 300 naira, in a roadside kiosk or a roadside shop. That same bottle of Coke, nothing added, but under a different scenario, let's say you buy that bottle of Coke in an exotic eatery or restaurant, that same bottle of Coke that is sold for 300 naira or $10 in a particular roadside shop can sell as high as $80 or maybe 2,000 naira for that same bottle of Coke. Now, what's the difference? Now, the difference is the excellence, the elegance, the packaging. So that same rule apply when it comes to fashion or tailoring. Your packaging, the elegance of your place, your presentation. They call it brand positioning. It actually goes a long way in determining how your brand is perceived and how much value is placed on it. And one thing with perceived value is that it is the customer that places value on your brand or your clothing. So it is what you portray to the customers that determines how they perceive your brand and how much value they place on it. So how much value they place on your brand will determine how much money they will pay to get access to your goods and your services. Skill is very important. You must be good at what you do. But second to your skill, you have to actually prioritize your brand positioning. When a customer or a client enters your space, what perception do they have? Do they think elegance, high value, or exotic, or do they think something else? So whatever they think will determine how much they are willing to remove from their pockets to pay you for your services or your goods that you're actually trying to pass out to them. Now, the second reason why you are underpaid or underpriced is because you are not skilled enough. Now, there's a kind of confidence that comes from competence. When you know you are skilled and you're very high value, it's only natural for you to place a valuable price on your product or service. So if, let's say, you know you're very good when it comes to sewing of shirts, naturally you want to place a high value price on that shirt that you want to produce, because you know the quality of shirts that you dish out when you're being paid. But when you're unsure of your skill or competence, that's when you accept any kind of price, because you just feel maybe you're not skilled enough or you don't have the competence enough to actually demand for a higher price. So the solution to this issue is to actually build your skill up, increase your skill, and let your skill be high value so that you can actually place a high price on that skill. Now, it is actually not cool for you to place a high price on the skill that you're not too good at. That's why I advise tailors or beginners tailors to invest in online courses and training that will actually build their skill up, so that when they actually attain to a certain skill level, they can actually place the right price on their services that they are rendering and get paid adequately for it. Increase your skill to the highest standard. Make sure your finishing is excellent so that you can actually place the right price on that service or that cloth or that piece of garment you're making. And I bet you, when you have actually attained that high enough skill, no matter the price you set, people that know the value of that skill actually pay you and reward you for it. Now, I am unapologetic on my pricing because I price based on the value I give. I know I'm very, very good at what I do. So whenever I'm approached to make a garment, whether bespoke, that's custom made, or any kind of garment, I set the right price, and most people that know the value of what I can deliver, they pay me for it. This is years of investment that has actually been invested in upgrading my skill to this level. So when I set a price, people that know the value of what I deliver, they have no issues paying me for it. So improve your skill to the highest level possible. If you know the method you're using is not giving you the right result, research on a better method of cutting, a better method of sewing that actually make your work excellent and increase your skill to the highest level so that you can actually set the right price. The third reason why you are underpriced and underpaid is because you have not set a standard. Set a standard in terms of the materials that you use, in terms of maybe your gum stays, your interfacing, your interlining. Make sure you use high quality materials, your interfacing, your interlining, even as far as your threading, to ensure that you give a very quality work. Now, the reason why most tailors are underpriced and underpaid because there is no standard. Now, when you go to some fashion houses, you know there's certain quality of buttons, certain quality of zips, quality of maybe the materials, the interfacing, interlining that they use, so that they can actually brand their products in such a way that they'll tell you that this is what they use and they don't compromise on standards. So when clients and customers know that this brand, they use certain standards of materials in terms of quality, there would not be much argument when it comes to pricing because they know they are actually getting value for what they pay for. Now, the standard also involves the finishing, how the finishing of your work actually looks like. Some tailors just prioritize how the clothes or the garment looks like from the outside without paying attention to how it actually looks like from the inside. Some customers and clients are very, very detailed. They look at some of these intricate details to ensure that they're actually getting value for what they pay for. Now, a branded cloth has more value than an unbranded cloth. That's why you can get a plain polo shirt with no brand logo on it, and you get that same plain polo shirt with a known brand logo on it, and you see the branded shirt will sell higher than that of the unbranded shirt. So are your clothes branded? Do you have a brand logo, and is your brand name and brand logo inserted in the clothes or design you're actually bringing out? This actually adds more value to your work. Not just the quality of craftsmanship, but actually the branding, the packaging, the finishing. These are some things you need to set certain standards on that will ensure that when you set a price, people will be willing to pay for it. You're getting value from this video and you're really serious about upgrading your skill in tailoring, like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel Luyasi. Hit the notification bell so that whenever I upload a video like this, you get a first-hand notice of it. If you have any question whatsoever or you're facing any challenges related to the points that I just mentioned, hit me up in the comment section. The final reason why you are underpriced and underpaid is because you've not worked on your presentation or your appearance. In the first point, I spoke about how you present your business or your brand. Now, this final point, I'm talking about how you present yourself, your presentation, your appearance. You are judged by the way you look. So the way you present yourself will determine the value people place on you. I know it sounds very, very mundane and shallow, but that's just the reality of this life that we find ourselves in. Regardless of the amount of value you have inside of you, if you present yourself in a shabby way, people will actually place shabby value on you, no matter how skilled you are. People actually judge your work by what they see on you. So you see most tailors, they don't care about their appearance. They just wear any kind of clothes and they want to meet clients and customers. Those clients and customers are actually looking at your apparel. Whatever they see you wearing, they judge the quality of your work based on what you wear. So even if you have the highest value possible and you present yourself in a way that is not presentable, people actually place that low value on you. And even if you don't have that much value and you work on presenting yourself in an excellent way and in a presentable way, people will even overestimate the value they place on you. So your presentation, the way you appear, the way you present yourself, whether you are meeting a client for a meeting or a customer for a proposal, you will need to place importance on your presentation, and that will determine the value they place on you, and the value they place on you will determine the price that they are willing to pay for your services or your products. I have a ready to wear online shirt class, and this is a paid class, a complete teaching on how to cut and sew an English shirt from start to finish, from the cuffs to the placket, to the button and the buttonhole, to the collar. If you're interested in this course and you're actually interested in upgrading your skill in tailoring, click the link in the description to get access to this course.